The day Marcus proposed was the happiest day of my life. I still remember every single detail, etched into my memory like a photograph I can't stop looking at. The way the sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, like a watercolor painting that God himself had created. The way the ocean waves crashed against the shore, providing a perfect rhythmic soundtrack to the most important moment of my life. The way the sand felt warm beneath my feet, the salt air filling my lungs, the sound of seagulls calling in the distance. And then there was Marcus. He was wearing that blue shirt I loved, the one that brought out the color of his eyes. His hair was slightly tousled by the ocean breeze, and he was looking at me with so much love that I felt like I was going to melt right there on the beach. He got down on one knee, his hands trembling slightly, his eyes full of hope and nervous excitement. He pulled out a small velvet box, and when he opened it, the diamond caught the last rays of the setting sun and sparkled like a star had fallen into his palm. "Rachel," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "From the moment I met you, I knew you were special. I knew you were the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. You've made me a better man, a happier man, a man who believes in love. Will you marry me?" My heart felt like it was going to burst out of my chest. Tears were streaming down my face. I couldn't even speak. I just nodded, over and over again, and then I managed to choke out the words, "Yes, yes, of course I'll marry you." He slipped the ring on my finger, and it fit perfectly. It was like it had been made for me. He stood up and kissed me, and the whole world seemed to disappear. It was just the two of us standing on that beach, promising forever to each other. When I said yes, I felt like I was walking on air. I was floating. I was the happiest woman in the world. I called my best friend, Vanessa. Immediately. She was the first person I wanted to tell. She'd been my rock through everything, my confidant, my sister in every way that mattered. We'd been friends since college, through thick and thin, through good times and bad. She knew me better than anyone, and I knew her better than anyone, or so I thought. She didn't answer. I figured she was busy, probably at work or in a meeting. So I left a voicemail, my voice giddy with excitement. "Vanessa, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. Marcus proposed. I'm engaged. Call me back as soon as you get this. I need to tell you everything. I can't wait to talk to you." She called back an hour later. Her voice was cheerful, excited. Everything I expected. "Oh my God, Rachel, I'm so happy for you. This is amazing. I can't believe it. You're actually getting married. Marcus is actually going to be your husband." I know. I can't believe it either. "We're going to have a wedding. You're going to be my maid of honor, right? You have to be. I can't imagine anyone else standing next to me. You're my best friend. You're my sister. You have to be there." "Of course I'll be your maid of honor. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm so incredibly happy for you. Rachel, you deserve this. You deserve all the happiness in the world." The next few months were a whirlwind of wedding planning. Vanessa was by my side through everything. She helped me pick out my dress, tasting cakes, and choosing flowers. She was there for every decision, every meltdown, every moment of panic. She was the perfect maid of honor. She was supportive, patient, and always knew exactly what to say to calm me down when I was stressing out. I didn't notice the little things at first. The way she'd linger a little too long when she hugged Marcus. The way she'd find excuses to text him. The way she'd look at him when she thought I wasn't watching. The way she'd laugh a little too hard at his jokes. The way she'd touch his arm when she was talking to him. I trusted her. I trusted him. I never had any reason to doubt either of them. They were the two most important people in my life, and I believed in them completely. The first sign was something small, something I almost missed. I'd planned a romantic dinner for Marcus and me, a special night to celebrate our engagement. I'd spent all day cooking his favorite meal, setting the table with candles and flowers, and putting on my prettiest dress. I wanted everything to be perfect. But he came home late, apologizing profusely. "I'm so sorry, Rachel. I got caught up at work. I know we had plans, I'm so sorry." "That's okay," I said, trying to hide my disappointment. "Work happens. You're here now. That's what matters." Vanessa stopped by the office, and we ended up talking for hours. She's going through a rough time, and she really needed someone to talk to. I couldn't just kick her out. "Vanessa, she didn't mention anything to me. What's going on with her? Is she okay?" "I don't know. She didn't go into details. She just seemed really down. I wanted to be there for her. She's your best friend, so she's important to me too. I wanted to help her. I didn't think anything of it. Vanessa was my best friend. Of course Marcus would want to be there for her. That's what couples did. They supported each other's friendships. It was sweet of him to care about her. But then there were other things. Vanessa dropping by the house when she knew Marcus would be home. Vanessa texting him late at night, and when I asked her about it, she'd say it was just a quick question about the wedding. Vanessa making excuses to spend time with him without me, like needing his advice on something or wanting to show him something. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself I was letting my insecurities get the better of me. I told myself I trusted them both completely. I had no reason to doubt them. They were my people. They would never hurt me. But the doubts were starting to creep in. They were small at first, like whispers in the back of my mind. But they grew louder and more persistent with every passing day. The confrontation came 3 weeks before the wedding. I'd come home early from a dress fitting, excited to show Marcus the final alterations. The dress was perfect, and I couldn't wait to see his face when he saw me in it. The house was quiet, too quiet. I called out for Marcus, but there was no answer. I heard voices coming from the bedroom, low, intimate voices that made my skin crawl. My heart started pounding. My hands were shaking. I walked toward the door, my footsteps silent on the carpet. And that's when I heard them. The sounds I never wanted to hear. The sounds that shattered my world into a million pieces. I opened the door, and there they were, my fiancé and my best friend. In my bed, in my house, in my life, I stood there, frozen, unable to move, unable to speak. My brain couldn't process what I was seeing. It was like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I was in shock, complete and utter shock. "Rachel," Marcus said, scrambling to cover himself. "I can explain. Please, let me explain. It's not what it looks like." "Explain what?" I screamed. "Explain how you're sleeping with my best friend? Explain how you've been betraying me behind my back? Explain how you've been lying to me for months? Explain how you could do this to me? It's not what it looks like. It's not. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to lie to me. I heard you. I saw you. I know everything. I know what you've been doing. I know you've been betraying me." Vanessa was crying, her face a mask of shame and regret. "Rachel, I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen. It just happened. I didn't mean to hurt you. I never wanted to hurt you." "You didn't mean to hurt me? You slept with my fiancé. You betrayed me. You destroyed our friendship. And you didn't mean to hurt me? How could you do this? How could you do this to me? You love him. You love him. He was supposed to marry me. He was supposed to be my husband, and you took him from me. You stole him from me. You destroyed everything we had. Rachel, please. I know I've made a terrible mistake. I know I've hurt you, but I love him. I can't help how I feel. I never meant to hurt you. I thought you were my best friend. I thought I could trust you. I thought you would never hurt me. And now I know that you were never my friend. You were never anything to me. You were just waiting to take everything I had. The wedding was canceled. I called the venue, the caterer, the florist, the photographer. I told them all it was off. I didn't give them details. I couldn't. I was too ashamed. Marcus moved out. He didn't fight me. He knew he had no right. He packed his bags and left without a word. Vanessa disappeared from my life. She didn't call, she didn't text. She just vanished like she'd never existed. I was left alone, devastated, trying to pick up the pieces of my shattered life. I spent weeks in my pajamas, barely eating, barely sleeping. I couldn't function. I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe. I spent months in therapy trying to heal, trying to move on, trying to understand how I could have been so blind. I questioned everything, my judgment, my instincts, my ability to trust. I asked myself over and over again how I could have been so stupid. And then I found out that Marcus and Vanessa had gotten married. They'd had a small ceremony, just family and close friends. They were building a life together, the life that was supposed to be mine. I was devastated all over again. But I was also angry. So angry I couldn't see straight. So angry I could barely function. I decided I wasn't going to let them get away with it. I wasn't going to let them destroy my life and walk away unscathed. I was going to make them pay. I started doing some digging. I needed to know everything about Vanessa. I needed to know her secrets. I needed to find a way to destroy her the way she destroyed me. I hired a private investigator. I scoured her social media. I talked to people who knew her. I dug into her past. And I found it. Vanessa had been hiding things. Big things. She had a criminal record. She'd been arrested for fraud and identity theft. She'd used aliases, stolen credit cards, and scammed people out of thousands of dollars. She was a con artist. But that wasn't all. She was also a serial homewrecker. She'd done this before, multiple times. She targeted married men, seduced them, and then moved on to the next one. She was a predator, a manipulator, a woman who'd made a career out of destroying families. And now, she'd destroyed mine. I gathered all the evidence. I built a case. I put together a dossier that would be impossible to ignore. And then I went to Marcus. "Marcus, I need to show you something," I said, meeting him at a coffee shop. "Something that's going to change everything. Something you need to see. I don't want to see you." "Rachel, it's too painful. We've moved on. You need to move on too. It's over. You need to see this. For your own sake. For your own protection. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you." I showed him the evidence, the criminal record, the aliases, the history of fraud, the pattern of behavior, the trail of destroyed lives she'd left behind. His face went pale. "What is this? Where did you get this? This can't be real." I did some digging. I needed to know who I was dealing with. And now you need to know too. You need to know who you married. Vanessa wouldn't do this. She wouldn't lie to me. She loves me. She told me she loved me. She's been lying to you from day one. She's been using you. She's been manipulating you. She's been destroying you. She doesn't love you. She loves what you can give her. I don't believe you. You're just trying to destroy what we have. You're just jealous. You can't stand that I moved on. I'm trying to protect you. I still care about you, Marcus, even after everything you've done to me. And I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want to see you destroyed." But he wouldn't listen. He was too far gone, too blinded by his feelings for her. So I went to the police. I gave them the evidence. I told them everything I knew about Vanessa's past. And then I waited. Vanessa was arrested a few weeks later. The police had been investigating her for months. And my evidence was the final piece they needed. She was charged with fraud, identity theft, and forgery. The charges were serious. She was facing years in prison. When Marcus found out, he was devastated. He'd been completely taken in by her. He'd trusted her, loved her, given her everything. And she'd been using him the whole time. "She used me," he said, his voice breaking. "She used me for my money, my connections, my access. She never loved me. She never cared about me at all. I was just another mark." "I know," I said, and for the first time, I felt a flicker of sympathy for him. "She used you, just like she used all the others." You weren't the first, and you won't be the last. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry for everything. I should have listened to you. I should have believed you. I should have trusted you. It's too late for that, I said. You made your choice. Now you have to live with it. You chose her over me. Now you get to live with the consequences. Vanessa was convicted and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Her reputation was destroyed. Her life was ruined. She'd never be able to scam anyone ever again. Marcus was left alone, broken, and full of regret. He'd lost everything. His wife, his money, his reputation, his future. It's been 2 years since everything happened. I've moved on. I've built a new life. I've met someone new, a kind man named David, who makes me feel safe and loved. He's patient, understanding, and he knows my whole story. He doesn't judge me, he doesn't pity me, he just loves me. I've forgiven Marcus in my own way, not because he deserves it, but because I can't carry that anger around forever. It was too heavy. It was destroying me. I had to let it go. Vanessa is still in prison. I don't think about her much. She's not worth my time. She's not worth my energy. She's not worth my thoughts. I've learned a valuable lesson. Trust is fragile. Once it's broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. And sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones who hurt you the worst. Sometimes the people you love the most are the ones who betray you the deepest. But I've also learned that I'm stronger than I ever imagined. I survived the betrayal, the heartbreak, the pain. I came out the other side. I rebuilt my life. I found happiness again. So what's the lesson here? What's the takeaway from all of this? I think it's this sometimes. The people who seem the most charming are the most dangerous. Sometimes, the people who smile the brightest have the darkest secrets. And sometimes, the people we trust the most are the ones who betray us the worst. But that doesn't mean we should stop trusting. It doesn't mean we should stop loving. It just means we should be careful. We should protect ourselves. We should always be vigilant. We should always trust our instincts. Because the truth is, our instincts are usually right. If something feels off, it probably is. If someone seems too good to be true, they probably are. And if you find yourself questioning someone's loyalty, you're probably not being paranoid. I ignored my instincts for months. I told myself I was being silly, being dramatic, being paranoid. I convinced myself that everything was fine, that I was just imagining things, that I was being a bad friend for even thinking such thoughts. And look where it got me. Look what it cost me. So if you're reading this, and you're in a situation like the one I was in, trust yourself, trust your gut, and don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking you're crazy. Because you're not crazy. You're smart, you're perceptive, and you deserve better. If you're reading this and you've been betrayed by someone you loved, I want you to know something. I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that it's not your fault. And I want you to know that you have the strength to survive. It's hard. I know it's hard. The pain, the anger, the betrayal. It feels like it's never going to end. It feels like you're never going to feel normal again. It feels like your whole world has been destroyed, and there's nothing left to hold on to. But I promise you, it does get better. The pain fades, the anger softens, and eventually you start to heal. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes self-compassion. You can't rush it. You can't force it. You just have to let it happen. And in the meantime, be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to grieve. And give yourself permission to move on. Don't let anyone tell you how you should feel or how long you should mourn. This is your journey, and you get to take it at your own pace. Because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. And you deserve to have a life that's filled with joy, not pain. You deserve to wake up every morning and feel grateful for the life you have, not burdened by the life you lost. So take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And remember, you are stronger than you know. braver than you feel, and capable of more than you can imagine. You've survived everything life has thrown at you so far, and you'll survive this too. You've got this. I believe in you. Loved this story? Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a video. I upload brand new stories every single day. Gripping, emotional, and packed with twists that'll keep you guessing until the very end. Don't forget to like this video if it gave you all the feels. Comment below, have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? How did you handle it? I read every single comment. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the best lessons come from other people's experiences. Got a story idea? Drop it in the comments. Your suggestion might just become the next video on this channel. Subscribe now and join our growing family of story lovers. New videos drop daily at 7 a.m. EST. Perfect to watch with your morning coffee. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Until next time, stay strong, stay brave, and never let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. Because you are, you always have been, and you always will be.